Hey guys, Ashley Chandler here from Advanced Physical Therapy Solutions and Embrace Yoga Studio to talk about breathing. So we've talked about breathing a whole bunch and I'm kind of obsessed with it because it's really important. We do it all day, every day, and most of us lose really good patterning of our breathing somewhere along the way. If you ever have watched a baby breathe, if you get a chance, do it. But if you've watched them, check out how they breathe. Their little bellies rise and lower. Their rib cage will expand. So that's ideal breathing. That's what kind of gives our body the best chance to fire and function in the happiest way. So we lose that in our lifestyles for one reason or another, and we end up a lot of times breathing up high. So we end up breathing up into our chests. And it's not a bad thing. It'll get air in, which is essential, but it's not ideal. We can make it better, which can make us function better, can make so many things improved. So if you have any neck pain, if you breathe up into your chest, that can feed into it. Stress levels, it can increase it because we don't usually get as deep a breath. So we don't get as much of an exhale, which helps our parasympathetic nervous system, our relaxation side of the nervous system, to really let go. So that's just like the tip of the iceberg. There's lots of other good, great things about finding a pattern to breathing that's more diaphragm driven. But we won't get into all of that right now. I just want to talk about what a good breath looks like. So we know not to breathe into the chest, right? So we want to breathe into the belly, and we want to feel like the ribs can expand out beneath. So if you're looking at my ribs this way, as I inhale, my belly will come out, and the bottom part of my ribs will kind of lift open. So we call it a bucket handle. So if you have the sternum or the heart bone and you lift it up, it's going to lift the ribs up this way. Not up this way, which is our chest breathing, which uses all these muscles here, but this direction, which is going to use the diaphragm and everything else that gives us that good quality diaphragm-driven breath. So you can do it anywhere. I always start people on their backs just because you can let go a little better on your back, but you can do it in any position. Obviously, we breathe all day, every day. It's kind of essential. But start on your backs. And what you'll feel for is hand on the chest, hand on the belly button is kind of a great place to start. And just observe your breath and notice, where does it happen? Does it happen here? Does it happen here? If it happens here, can you move it to the belly? If it's already happening in the belly, yay. See if you can make it slower, deeper, a little bit longer to exhale the breath out. Taking as long as you need to play with that. And then the next idea is that rib cage movement that we talked about, that kind of bucket handle lifting. And that, a good place to feel that is if your hands are on your rib cage. So it feels kind of awkward on your shoulders to be in this position. You're right underneath the chest, and you should be able to feel your ribs underneath your palm and your fingers as they kind of wrap around the front. And then I want you to take a breath. And just notice again. So you're observing, you're still doing that belly breath that you just practiced. What happens with the ribs? Do they lift up? And then as you exhale, if they did lift up, do they then snug back down again? I'm just playing with that idea. Can you find that deep belly breath, rib cage expansion, and then as you exhale, belly comes in, rib cage snug down just a tiny bit. So that's your crash course in breathing, proper techniques of breathing. Play with it. Just keep it in the back of your mind. If you're totally bored, you can practice your breathing and play with getting your technique a little bit better. And I'll have more videos coming and more little tidbits about breathing because it's so essential to all recovery and life in general, but especially important in a lot of populations that I work with, oncology patients, pelvic floor patients, chronic pain patients. Oftentimes all of the people in those populations have lost our good breathing. So check back for more content.